Good afternoon, members and staff. I hereby call this first special session to order. Today is April 25th, 2025. The time is 2 p.m. or 2:04 p.m., approximately 2:04 p.m. here in the Senate chamber of the Honorable Sus P. Mafnas Memorial Building. Before we proceed, may I ask for everybody to switch their devices on silent mode, whether it be your cell phone or iPads. Thank you. Today's session is being streamed live for our viewing public on channel 23 cable TV, our Senate YouTube channel, and our legislature's Facebook. May I ask everybody to stand for a moment of silence? Thank you, members. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Babauta, Senator Calvo,
Present.
Senator Castro,
Estiga.
Senator Cruz, Senator Hofschneider,
Gigi.
Senator King Neighbors,
Here.
Senator Magofinia,
Present.
Senator Manglonia,
Present.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
Mr. President, all 8 members are present, 1 absent.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members present, that constitutes a quorum for us to proceed with today's agenda. Let the record reflect that Senator Babauta is hereby excused. Before we move any further, allow me to introduce some of our sporting staff, our Legislative Bureau sporting staff. We got Mr. L.J. Cashew taking photos. We got Ms. Jolene Tagbell, our Legislative Assistant. We got Chanel Borja also assisting. We got Miss Dolores Bermudez, our Senate Clerk, our Legal Counsel. We got Antoinette Villagomez, and we got Delbert Camacho assisting with media. Welcome, LB staff. We do have Mr. Benjamin Terlahi, our Sergeant at Arms. Sorry there, Mr. Sarge. Moving on. Shall we suspend? We're back. We move now to item B of the agenda. Public comments pursuant to Senate rules. Anyone making a comment, please limit your comment to 5 minutes. You may also submit your comments in writing if you wish to do so. Sergeant at Arms can help you with that. Also, for the record purposes, please state your full name and the item of the agenda you are going to make a comment on. Thank you. Public comment is now open.
Good afternoon, Hafide Zantiro, Mr. Senate President Dennis C. Mendiola, and honorable members of the 24th Northern Marianas Commonwealth Legislature. For record purposes, my name is John Paul Benavente Regis, Acting Special Assistant for the Administration under the Office of the Governor. On behalf of Governor Arno I. Palacios and Lieutenant Governor David M. Apateng, I thank you for the opportunity to appear before you here today. I am here to extend the administration's appreciation and express our gratitude to you, Mr. Senate President, and to your honorable, and to the Committee on Executive Appointments and Government Investigation, chaired by Mr. Honorable Senator Mr. Francisco Q. Cruz, and members for their diligent work and unwavering time and effort reviewing and examining our nominee. And in itself, it is an essential step forward as the administration finalizes the vacancies of all boards and commission. This afternoon, you'll be entertaining Standing Committee Report 24-03, the executive appointment of Ms. Rosamund Santos Ward to serve as member of the Commonwealth Utilities Board of Directors, representing women of the 3rd Senatorial District of Saipan. We commend Ms. Santos' work for her commitment and dedication to serving our great Commonwealth. Mr. Senate President Mendiola and honorable members of this Senate August body, it is for this reason that Governor Arno I. Palacios and Lieutenant Governor David M. Apateng extends their sincere appreciation for your generous and favorable consideration on behalf of our appointee here today. Thank you, Jesus Mosi Zangiliso.
Thank you, Mr. Regis. Any other individual wishing to make a public comment? Please, you may do so now. If there's none, I'm closing the public comment of the agenda. Moving on, item C, reading and approval of the agenda or journal. I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I move to adopt Senate Journal number 24-03, third day, first regular session dated February 28, 2025, and Senate Journal 2404, fourth day, first regular session dated March 7th, 2025.
Second.
There's a motion to adopt Senate Journal 24-03 and 24-04, and it was seconded. Any discussions from the member? All in favor of that motion say aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Before we proceed, if there's no objection by the members, may we move to item M so we can dispose of the nominee. No objection. Moving to item M. Item M, number 1. I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 24-03 from the Committee on Executive Appointments and Government Investigations, reporting on the executive appointment of Ms. Rosamond Santos Sword to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors representing the 3rd Senatorial District and women.
Thank you, floor leader. There's a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 24-03, and it was seconded. Any discussions from the members? I recognize Senator Francisco Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, your committee on executive appointment and investigation is ready to present Standing Committee Report number 24-08. And this is the appointment of Ms. Rosamond B. Santos Sword to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors representing the 3rd Senatorial Districts and women. Begs leave to report as follows. After review and consideration of testimony provided, your committee recommends the confirmation of Ms. Rosamond B. Santos Sword, executive appointment to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors representing the 3rd Senatorial District and women. Pursuant to Rule 8, Section 5 of the Interim Rules of the Senate, it is the duty and purpose of your committee to report to the Senate for legislative action pertaining to the appointment of Ms. Rosamond B. Santos Sword to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors representing the 3rd Senatorial District and women. Your committee has examined all pertinent documents relating to the executive appointment of Ms. Santos Sword, overall credential to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors. In summation of all written and oral testimonies provided to the committee, there are 8 oral testimonies in support of the appointee, of which 1 hard copy of the testimony stated was submitted during the hearing. 3 written testimonies in support of the appointee and no written or oral testimonies in opposition of the appointee. Additionally, your committee stated several recommendation issues and concerns to the appointee that are included in this report. Therefore, based on the overall assessment of Ms. Santos Sword's credentials, experiences, testimonies, and other relevant issues considered, your committee respectfully recommends the confirmation of Ms. Rosamond B. Santos Sword to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors to represent the 3rd Senatorial District and women. The public hearing was conducted on March 11, 2025, here in the Senate Chamber of the Honorable P. Sus P. Mofnes Memorial Building, Capitol Saipan. And during the hearing, certain recommendations, issues, and concerns were raised for the appointee to address and look into if confirmed as member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors. And in conclusion, all required documents in conformance with Rule 8, Section 5 of the interim rules of the Senate have been submitted to your committee for review and consideration. And based on the submission of pertinent documents and testimonies, your committee concludes that the executive appointment of Ms. Rosamond B. Santos Sword to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors representing the 3rd Senatorial District and women in accordance with 4 CMC subsection 8131. Therefore, your committee consent the confirmation of Ms. Rosamond B. Santos Sword to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation Board of Directors representing the 3rd Senatorial District and women. Again, I humbly ask the full body to support Standing Committee Report number 24-03. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. Any other members wishing to make a comment? If there's none, ready? Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Calvo, excuse me,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Yes.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Good.
Senator King Neighbors,
Yes.
Senator Magofnia,
Yes.
Senator Mangonia,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 8 members voting yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members voting yes to adopt Standing Committee Report number 24-03, it is hereby adopted. Short recess, please. Moving on to item D. Clerk.
Mr. President, we have 21 on our agenda, 24-20 to 40.
Comments from the members? There's none. Moving on. Thank you, Clerk. Thank you, Clerk. Any comments from the member? Moving on, item F of the agenda, communication from the executive department heads. Thank you, Clerk. Any comments from the members? Moving on, item H, communication from the Senate. Clerk.
Mr. President, we have 59 on our agenda, 24-38 to 59.
Any comments from the members? Recognize Senator Carl.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to comment on Senate Communication 24-38. This was a inquiry sent from myself to the delegate regarding the ARPA funds and the reporting of ARPA from the CNMI to U.S. Treasury. We have received back, and it has been published through the clerk, the findings and the reportings from the CNMI. I think it's notable that the initial submission from the CNMI to U.S. Treasury was that the balance of ARPA as of December 31st, 2022 was just about $124.6 million. 19 days later, the inauguration happened. Or 11 days later, the inauguration happened. On the 19th, there was communications through the media by the administration that they were of the belief that we were $80 million in deficit. This is important because the next submission was in March of the next year, and that submission, again coming from the CNMI government to U.S. Treasury, was that our liquid assets as it pertained to ARPA was $97 and change million. So just at face value, the initial submission compared to what was being told to the public was a difference of roughly $200.6 million. So this is very alarming, and we just want to have an understanding again of what the actual ARPA value was, and so to let the Senate know and the viewing public, the Committee on Federal Relations and Military Affairs will be meeting to decide what to do with all of the documentation that has been received through Open Government Acts, subpoenas as of last year under our custodianship, as well as this communication from the delegate. I yield.
Thank you, Senator Carl Nevers. Any other comment from the members? Allow me to just jump on the same communication. Senator Carl, and this is in regards to the ARPA, no, just for clarity. I think the most important take from this for the viewing public is to ensure that there's, although we're way past the ARPA, I think the most important take is to actually ensure that we share to the public what's actually going on or what transpired with ARPA. Again, since the start of the previous legislature all the way to now, the narratives have been there's no ARPA, and then all of a sudden there is ARPA. So the question is, what really transpired with ARPA? So I'm glad that your committee is taking that helm, and I'm hoping that you're going to continue to try and get to the bottom of this, and then your committee will recommend action for that. So thank you, Senator Carl. Moving on, item I, communications from the delegate. Clerk.
We have one, Mr. President, CNMI Delegate 2402.
Thank you, Clerk. Any comments from the members? Moving on, item J, unfinished business. None. There's none. Item K, pre-filed bill initiative, local bills, and resolution. I recognize Senator Jude Hofschneider for the proper introduction of this bill.
This is responsive, Mr. President, and I have here a Senate Joint Resolution number 24-3. Although it was public knowledge that it was introduced by two of us, Senator Carl and I, but it actually intended to request the entire full members of the Senate to support the efforts of our Congresswoman in the United States Congress to reestablish or to allow the CNMI to be part of the Essential Air Service program that is currently being provided with the United States to participating territories, except here in the CNMI. So if there's no objection from the members, I respectfully ask that the entire full board of this body is co-sponsors this. Thank you. Are you back?
Thank you, Senator Hofschneider. I recognize Senator Castro to stand in on behalf of Senator Babalta to introduce her bill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Formally introducing Senate Commemorative Resolution 24-01 to recognize and commend the Saipan Eagle Lions Club and the Saipan Beacons Lions Club for their outstanding achievements in membership growth and retention. Introduced on behalf of Senator Selena R. Babalta.
Thank you, Senator Castro. Now for myself, Senate Bill number 24-33. This is to amend Title 1, Division 2, Part 1, Chapter 18 of the Commonwealth Code to rename the Commissioner to Fire Chief, Deputy Commissioner to Assistant Chief. And allow me to just further clarify this bill. The intent is really to just remove all these deputy commissioners that are intended for appointments and rather have assistant chiefs, which are actual firefighters running this department or divisions under the department. Again, the intent for this is to ensure that there's continuity for the department. As we change out the chief, the commissioner, we want to make sure that there's always a continuity, which is the division heads. And, you know, these are civil service firefighters that are actually overseeing the department. Thank you. Moving on, item L. Recognize Senator Carl King Neighbors.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to introduce Senate Resolution number 24-03 to recognize and commend Lieutenant Colonel Adrian Savage Evangelista of the United States Marine Corps for his selfless service and answering the call to defend and protect our nation and play a fundamental role in armed services for the United States of America. And also, if possible, I would like to kindly ask that it be placed on the resolution calendar today for action. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Neighbors. Recognize Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to place Senate Resolution 24-03 on today's resolution calendar.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There's a motion offered by the Floor Leader to move resolution number 24-03 to resolution calendar for action, and it has been seconded. Any discussion on the matter? All in favor of that motion, say aye. Those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Back to item M, number 2 of the Standing Committee report. I recognize Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 24-04 from the Committee on Fiscal Affairs reporting on Senate Bill number 24-18 to amend 1 CMC Section 2803 regarding the budget submission of the Department of Public Lands and for other purposes.
Second.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There's a motion offered by the floor to adopt Standing Committee Report number 24-04, and it has been seconded. Any discussion on the motion?
Ready.
Clerk?
Just as Chair.
Recognize Senator Hofschneider.
Thank you. I wanted to thank the members for your inputs during the deliberation of such a bill, and some of those at face value in the initial introduction and transmitted to the Fiscal Affairs. There are some clarifying provisions of which we flushed it through the committee work. So I would like to thank everyone for their participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hofschneider. Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Ngan.
Senator Cruz. Yes. Senator Hofschneider,
Again.
Senator King Neighbor,
Yes.
Senator Magofina,
Yes.
Senator Mangonia.
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 8 members voting yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members voting yes, Standing Committee Report 24-04 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have Standing Committee Report number 24-05 from the Committee on Fiscal Affairs, reporting on Senate Bill number 24-32 to amend 2 CMC Section 3551 to change the expenditure authority, management, and control of solid waste subaccounts for the 1st and 2nd senatorial districts to the mayor of each respective municipality and for other purposes. The committee recommends a passage in the form of Senate Draft 1, and I move for its adoption.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There is a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report 24-05, and it was seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Recognize Senator Hofschneider.
Like my earlier statement, Mr. President, I wish to thank again the members for their input and their participation to improve the language and the intent of the bill. And I would be remiss if I don't also extend my appreciation and on behalf of the committee to the staff that have actually assisted us through and through. So I respectfully ask that we support this legislation when it comes down to the calendar. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hofschneider. Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Ngan.
Senator Cruz, Senator Hofschneider, Senator King,
Yes.
Senator Mangonia,
Yes.
Senator Mangonia,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 8 members voting yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members voting yes, Standing Committee Report number 24-05 is hereby adopted. Moving on. Item M, reports on special, there's none. Item O, resolution. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, members, we have 2 on the calendar. We have Senate Commemorative Resolution 24-01 to recognize and commend the Saipan Eagle Lions Club and the Saipan Beacons Lions Club for their outstanding achievements in membership growth and retention. I move for its adoption.
Second.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There's a motion offered by the Floor Leader to adopt Senate Commemorative Resolution number 24-01, and it was seconded. Any discussion by the members?
Ready.
Ready. Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Ngan.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Ngan.
Senator King,
Yes.
Senator Mangonia,
Yes.
Senator Mangonia,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 8 members voting yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members voting yes, Senate Commemorative Resolution number 24-01 hereby passes the Senate. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next, we have Senate Resolution 24-03 to recognize and commend Lieutenant Colonel Adrian Savage Evangelista, United States Marine Corps, for his selfless service, answering the call to defend and protect our nation and play a fundamental role in the armed forces of the United States of America. I move for its adoption.
Second.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There is a motion to adopt Senate Resolution number 24-03, and it was seconded. Any discussion by the members? All in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Senate Resolution number 24-03 hereby adopted. Next item, item P, bill calendar. Floor Leader.
Thank you again, Mr. President. We have 4 on today's calendar. First up, we have Senate Bill number 24-09, Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands Captive Insurance Act of 2025. And for other purposes, I move for its passage.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There's a motion to pass Senate Bill number 24-09, and it was seconded. Any discussion by the members? Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Ngan.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Ngan.
Senator King,
Yes.
Senator Mangonia,
Yes.
Senator Mangonia,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 8 members voting yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members voting yes, Senate Bill number 24-09 is hereby passed. Floor Leader.
Next up, Mr. President, we have Senate Bill number 24-22 to establish mandatory presentation of valid personal photo identification for any debit card or credit card transaction made in person and any check, cash exchange, or purchase for all business establishments in the Commonwealth. I move for its passage.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There is a motion offered to pass Senate Bill number 24-22, and it's been long standing bill. And it was seconded. Any discussions by the members? Recognize Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do want to say that I support this bill entirely. Recently, I have spoken to a vendor who has made the practice to be more accommodating in terms of processing debit card transactions over the phone. And then later on, when this individual disputed it, then there's all these issues of identity theft, maybe, if you will call it. And so now I hope that the business establishment takes this more seriously, for their protection, but also for the protection of the card holder. And so thank you, Senator Cruz, for this bill, and I do hope the members support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Any other discussion? Recognize Senator Francisco Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to all for your kind and generosity support. Most especially, Floor Leader, I appreciate your sentiment in supporting my bill. Actually, when we introduce legislation, it's not because of us. It's because the complaint of the members of the public. And just recently, I received again a call that senior citizens been cheated with the ATM card with especially member of the family. So this is the reason why I continue to ask for your support, because those that cannot, or very difficult for them to come to the proper authority to make complaint, this bill will help them. So again, I sincerely thank everyone for your strong support. This was massive.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. I like how you're thanking everyone for their support, and we haven't even voted on the bill. But however, nonetheless, I do want to say that this bill has been long-standing, and I think that it's also just another added layer of protection for consumers and the vendor alike. So I've been supporting this bill since you've been trying to introduce it. However, we've just been unsuccessful in the past. However, here we are again today addressing this bill. So, Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
I'm good.
Senator Cruz,
Yes, we thank you.
Senator Hofschneider,
Again.
Senator King Neighbor,
Yes.
Senator Magonia,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 8 members voting yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members voting yes, Senate Bill number 24-22 hereby passes the Senate. Floor Leader.
Mr. President, next up we have Senate Bill number 24-18 SD1 to amend 1 CMC Section 2803 regarding the budget submission of the Department of Public Lands and for other purposes. I move for its passage.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There is a motion offered by the Floor Leader to pass Senate Bill number 24-18 SD1, and it was seconded. Any discussion by the members? Ready? Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
I'm good.
Senator Cruz, Senator Hofschneider, Senator King Neighbors,
Yes.
Senator Magonia,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 8 members voting yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members voting yes, Senate Bill number 24-18 SD1 hereby passes the Senate. Floor Leader.
Last up on the bill calendar, we have Senate Bill 24-32 SD1 to amend 2 CMC Section 3551 to change the expenditure authority, management, and control of solid waste subaccounts for the 1st and 2nd senatorial districts and for other purposes. I move for its passage.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Senate Bill There is a motion on the floor to pass Senate Bill number 24-32 SD1, and it was seconded. Any discussion by the members? I recognize Senator Manglonia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a brief discussion, and for those out in the public trying to understand what this is, I think it's just to provide more autonomy to our resident department heads and the agencies on the first and second senatorial districts. I know there's always a back and forth between the secretary and the department heads, but this just kind of eliminates a lot of the hurdles that our RDHs and our mayor go through to try to access some of these funds. And hopefully with the if this passes the House and gets signed into law, this would eliminate all barriers to allow our RDHs to access these accounts and to perform their duties in order to assist our public in regards to any solid waste management. And so thank you to the FA committee and its members for their support on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Anybody else? Senator Cash, recognize Senator Castro.
I just wanted to thank the author and also the committee for that bill. It's long overdue decentralization of process, and I also look forward to the day where we can also do that across the board for some of the other processing, such as POs and other things. Every municipality has its resident director and mayor, and some of these processes that are in the central government should transition to the expenditure authority or the senatorial district, so that the people that are seeing the issues firsthand can deal with it and not have any barriers. So thank you all.
Thank you, Senator Castro. Anybody else? So allow me to just jump into and just kind of add on to that. And the issue is that, and we hear this on a regular, right? When we bring in all these department heads from the first and second senatorial district, that the biggest challenge has always been there's funding in the account, but you have to wait for the third senatorial district pretty much, or the central government to allow. So this bill has been something that the two municipality has been waiting for quite some time. And I'm glad. Thank you to the author for introducing this, and thank you for everybody who's going to support it. Any other comments? Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Good.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Good.
Senator Keeley,
Yes.
Senator Maglonia,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 8 members voting yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With 8 members voting yes for the passage of Senate Bill number 24-32 SD1, I hereby, or Senate Bill is hereby passed. Next item on the agenda, item Q, petition, memorial, and miscellaneous communication. Clerk?
We have them on our agenda, Mr. President, 2423 to 32.
Any comments from the members? Thank you. Moving on. Announcement. Recognize floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a few announcements happening on Rhoda next week. Tuesday is Rhoda's Industry Day, and we encourage all businesses to come over to the Puesto Annex to register your businesses so that any military activities moving forward, they can patronize your business. And so with that, we also invite you on Wednesday to the public hearing at the mayor's office around 5 o'clock p.m. To basically hear out the plans of the military and share your concerns with them so that they can take that back to their higher ups and see how we can all collaborate and work together in trying to push these projects forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Mongoya. Recognize Senator Hofschneider.
Sizus Masim, Mr. President, I also wish to inform the members that we have a joint PUTC committee meeting with the House to entertain a couple of legislation, one House bill and one Senate bill. It's going to be at 10 o'clock in the House chamber. So I appreciate if your presence is there to April 30th. That's I believe that's a Wednesday. Equally, and it's pending. There's a tentative call for a fiscal affairs committee meeting the same day at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Senate chamber, and the official notification will be coming out shortly. Jesus Mase. Oh, and last but not the least, I do know that every year for the last 50-some years, the community of Tinians celebrates the feast of San Jose, their patron saint. But this year is the last couple of years it's been led jointly by the Friends of San Jose Church and of course the municipality and other sponsors. So the invitation is open for you all. If your time permits, please join the community of Tinian next weekend beginning Friday through Sunday for the San Jose Fiesta. Thank you, and I yield back, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Schneider. Any other members? Senators? Okay, so I do have an announcement to our 24th. Just wanted to announce that effective today, I'm going to appoint a special committee to deal with our economic recovery. One of the things that this committee is going to focus on is really just to work with, as I've briefed a lot of our senators, is the goal for this committee is really to work with our business community and work on looking at regulations, laws that is hampering, that's not making the CNMI profitable or an attractive for businesses to invest in. So this committee will it's going to be a special committee that's going to focus heavily on just regulations that will try and be introduced or work with the House, for that matter, to try, if it's a revenue generating bill, to work with the House, to work with MVA, Saipan Chamber of Commerce. And again, this committee will also work hand in hand with Senator Magofnia's committee, the REDW, and the goal again is to just focus on just economic recovery. I know that every other committee is heavily involved in a lot of your committee in terms of bills, but this committee now will go out and work with all our business community directly and try and figure out solution. In one of the forum that I was a part of, the delegate, Congresswoman Kimberly King Hines, asked, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" And so, that question is fair. I think it's fair for us to, stand up, step up, and find solutions. We can't sit here and just keep waiting, because we're looking at the financial situation of the CNMI, and it's not looking too well. But the least we can do is do our part as legislators and come up with policies, that may help the executive branch. Again, we can work directly with the executive branch, but there is that separation of power, ensuring that their fiduciary responsibility doesn't infringe on ours. So for that, Senator Castro, I'm appointing you chairman of that committee. It's going to be a bipartisan committee, or tripartisan, if you will. It's going to include Republicans, Democrats, Independents. And the reason, again, is this is really, we're in a situation where our Commonwealth is hurting, and we got to look past our colors of, the flags that we fly, and try and work together to try and come up with solutions. So, members, thank you for the blessing to the leadership, and I appreciate your commitment. Any other announcement? Thank you. Moving on. Item S, adjournment. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I move for adjournment, subject to your call.
Second.
Thank you. There's a motion to adjourn today's session, and it's been seconded. Any discussion by the members? Those in favor of that motion say aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Today's session is hereby adjourned.